Well, today we're diving deep
Yeah, absolutely.
into one of those really special texts that have been shaping how people think for centuries.
Definitely millennia, actually.
Millennia. Wow.
Yeah,
The Bhagavad Gita.
that's right.
We're going to unpack this.
A cornerstone of Hindu philosophy.
Really get to the heart of it
Distilled it down
for everyone listening.
to the essentials.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can you remind everyone
Sure.
what the Bhagavad Gita actually is?
So basically, it's this sacred text, really important in Hinduism. It's actually part of this huge epic called the Mahabharata.
Okay,
And within that epic, it's in the book of Bhishma specifically.
right.
It's a dialogue
Okay.
broken down into 18 chapters,
Hmm.
and it's about 700 verses.
Okay, 700 verses.
Yeah.
And it's called the Song of God.
Right. The Bhagavad Gita literally means the song of God.
So who's actually doing the singing?
That's a great question. So the whole thing is a conversation between Arjuna,
Okay.
who's this prince and a warrior,
Mm-hmm.
and he's about to go into this huge battle. And then there's Lord Krishna.
Okay.
Now, Krishna, he's Arjuna's charioteer, but he's also like this divine guide.
Uh-huh.
He's like the embodiment of supreme consciousness.
Okay, so this is no ordinary chariot ride.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so set the scene for us.
Okay, so picture this. The Kurukshetra battlefield.
Okay.
It's intense, okay?
Yeah.
Arjuna, he's looking across the battlefield, and he sees his own family,
Oh, wow.
his teachers, his friends,
Oh, no.
all lined up against him.
That's rough.
And it just hits him like a ton of bricks.
Oh, man.
The thought of fighting them,
Yeah,
potentially killing his own kin, it just completely overwhelms him.
totally understandable.
He's on the verge of collapse, like a complete moral and emotional breakdown. And,
Right.
and that's the moment
Uh-huh.
he turns to Krishna for guidance.
Yeah.
And all of his doubts,
Mm-hmm.
his despair, his questions,
Right.
they become like the foundation for the teaching.
For the entire Gita.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
out of this really, intense personal struggle,
It's like a crucible moment.
yeah, some pretty timeless philosophical themes emerge.
Absolutely.
Right. So what are some of the core insights that we should really, try and grasp here?
Okay, so there's a bunch of intertwined ideas, but some that really stand out.
Okay.
One is karma yoga.
Okay.
You've probably heard of this.
Yeah.
It's basically the principle of acting
Mhm.
according to your duty,
Right.
but not being attached to the results.
Okay, so it's not about,
No.
what you're going to get.
Exactly.
It's
but
about-
what's
yeah.
it doing?
The doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And Krishna sums it up perfectly.
Yeah.
He says,
Yeah.
perform your duty, but do not get attached to the results.
Right.
So it's about focusing on doing the best job
Right.
rather than just being driven by wanting a certain outcome.
I mean, that actually makes so much sense in our super results-oriented world.
I think it can be a real recipe for anxiety,
Absolutely.
burnout.
Yeah. Okay, what else? What other big themes are there?
So another big one is bhakti yoga,
Okay.
which is the path of love and devotion to the divine.
Okay.
So the Gita says that sincere remembrance and devotion, they're like a direct path
Uh-huh.
to liberation.
Okay.
Then there's jnana yoga,
Okay.
which is all about knowledge
Yeah.
and the eternal nature of the soul.
Mhm.
So it teaches that the soul is indestructible,
Okay.
it's unborn,
Mm-hmm.
while your physical body,
Yeah.
that's just temporary,
Okay.
a shell.
Right. So that distinction between the soul and the body,
Yeah,
that seems pretty key
it's foundational.
to the Gita.
Yeah. The Gita really stresses this idea that we are not the body, we are the soul.
Right.
So death isn't like an ending. It's
Yeah.
more like a transition,
Okay.
like changing your clothes.
Interesting.
Then there's the concept of dharma, which is your righteous duty,
Okay.
fulfilling your purpose.
Yeah.
And the Gita is big on this idea that you need to fulfill your own duty,
Mhm.
even when it's hard,
Yeah.
even when it's challenging.
Right.
As Krishna says,
Yeah.
death in one's own dharma is better than following another's path.
Okay. So we've got action with karma yoga,
Mm-hmm.
devotion with bhakti yoga,
Right.
knowledge with jnana yoga,
Yeah.
dharma and duty.
Exactly.
Where are all these paths leading? What's the final destination?
Well, the ultimate goal,
Yeah.
according to the Gita,
Mm-hmm.
is liberation.
Okay.
Or moksha,
Moksha.
which is freedom from this cycle of birth and death.
Right.
And ultimately union with the divine.
Wow. Okay. So
Big goal.
yeah, huge.
Yeah.
Okay. So this text is ancient,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like so many people find it relevant
Yeah.
today. Why is that?
Well, I think it's because it gives us this really profound guidance for navigating all the challenges and the inner conflicts that we all face in life.
Cool.
You know, it emphasizes things like commitment to duty,
Right.
mental discipline, humility.
Yeah.
Those are pretty timeless.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing to see how it's influenced people. Like Mahatma Gandhi, his philosophy of nonviolent action was deeply rooted in the Gita's teachings
Really?
about selfless duty.
Wow.
It's a framework for finding peace
Right.
amidst the chaos.
Absolutely. Okay, so to sum up,
Yeah.
what's the essential message of the Bhagavad Gita?
For someone listening right now.
Yeah, like in a nutshell.
Okay, so at its core,
Yeah.
the Bhagavad Gita is like this timeless guide
Okay.
for navigating your own inner battles
Yeah.
and understanding the path to truth.
Wow.
And it rests on these pillars
Yeah.
of understanding the eternal soul,
Right.
acting with purpose,
Okay.
but without craving specific outcomes,
Right.
cultivating deep devotion,
Okay.
and seeking wisdom.
Wow. So much to think about.
Right.
So on that note,
Yeah.
here's something to ponder.
Okay.
What if you consciously focused on the process
Okay.
of your work
Mm-hmm.
or your interactions
Right.
rather than just being totally fixated
Yeah.
on the desired outcome?
Interesting.
How might that change your experience of maybe a current project
Yeah.
or a relationship?
Hmm.
It's definitely a perspective worth exploring.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive
It's been a pleasure.
into the Bhagavad Gita.
As always.
We'll see you next time.
Sounds good.